But Bioshock 2 is not a bad game. Jesus loves me, tells me so. I used to like walk around and quote that, like that thing that the Splicers did, like just the things they said. It tells you straight up at the end of it. Infinite. No, at the end of Bioshock Infinite, it tells you how they're all related. It was just too long. You could cut an hour or two out of that game. The locomotion. The music is so good. Yeah, I like the ending. I don't know. I can see why some people don't like it, but I love that type of stuff, that kind of sci-fi stuff. So I'm into it. No audio from the others. Thank you for telling me that. No, well, this will go into the audio version. It's just your audio won't come through. Yeah. I need to switch up the speakers. That should work. Alright, say stuff, guys.
Stuff.
There you go, it's working. Alright.
I think I might have poisoned the minds of young kids.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast, where we poison the minds of young children. Today I have with me Justin.
I am poison.
And Ben.
I can't stop. I can't stop. I don't know what I was referencing.
Was that
Stop
porn?
What?
I can't stop looking at Tifa porn, okay?
Oh, okay.
This is a safe space. You can talk to us.
Now we have the explicit tag on our podcast. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Will we?
Eric
We
porn is
don't anyway?
good, but
I don't think we do.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Whatever.
that's an oversight.
I mean, I've
dropped so
sworn
many
like a
F-bombs.
sailor on this podcast, so that hasn't happened.
Right. And Ben brings up porn pretty much every week. So.
Oh, come on.
It's pretty much his sign-off.
Yeah. Well, anime titties and, hey, if I'm not gonna say anything about it, you're probably gonna, they follow on Twitter is probably gonna retweet some big old anime titties. So somebody's gonna see it.
All right, Justin, you want to start off this week?
Sure. So first off, I got this cool. This isn't gaming related, even a little bit, but I got this cool little cooler It's pink, but I love it. It's fine. This week has been like Employee Appreciation Week at work, so we had like little activities each day, just something to kind of like have fun and waste some time, honestly. And Thursday we did like a little gift exchange. Like, you don't buy something, you just bring in something from home and exchange it for something else. I got rid of a bunch of old movies that have just been sitting in a cabinet that I forgot to sell or donate or anything. So that was nice. But my gift was, are you chasing whiskey with beer?
No, I'm just finishing off my whiskey so I can have a Corona.
So then yes.
I guess that's what you call it. I'm just drinking another thing.
You finished your whiskey and then drank some beer. That's how chasing works.
Okay, if you say so.
Anyway, it's somewhat related to my story. So yeah, one of the gifts was brought in. It was from someone that doesn't work in the office, like they're in a different building, and it was in this big box, and the box was chirping, like little chicken noises or something.
Oh.
And for extra effect, he had poked holes in the box and wouldn't tell us what it actually was. So like we're trying to get everything set up for the gift exchange and stuff. It was just cheep 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 from this box with holes in it. It was actually really annoying. And so I was number 2. So I was like, okay, you know what? I have to know what's in this box. Like, I know it's not chickens, but I have to know what it is. So I opened it up, and it was this little cooler, just kind of like pocket size, not pocket size, but like very small mini cooler that fits like 6 cans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And his phone running a video of baby chicks. Very clever, actually. Good way to pull the rug over us.
Wow.
So of course I pull out the cooler and they go, "Oh, a free phone? Thanks." I pocket it. But yeah, so I have this cool little cooler like right next to me, so I can just keep a few beers in there and grab them out while we're recording. It's
That's
super nice.
really cool. Yeah.
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 So I got cheers. I had to get some beer to see how many could fit in it. But anyway, gaming wise, I've still been doing a bunch of PS1 games. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I came up with a series of video ideas. I'm actually not sure how many it's going to be yet. I might just turn into Cat Icarus and just become a PS1 channel. But I basically made a list of games that I loved as a kid, and want to see like whether they hold up or not. So my traditional number, I have 14 games, and I've kind of split them up into what I think they will be, but we'll see. I was gonna do like an even like 7 and 7, but it won't necessarily turn out that way, I guess. Now that I think about it, so I was thinking like do a video on the ones that hold up, do a video on the ones that don't, things like that. But it might not be 7 and 7, so I got to figure out how I'm gonna do that. And then a separate list of games that have been suggested for me to play that I either missed as a kid or totally forgot about or whatever, like heard good things about, that kind of thing. So I've got 14 of those also, and I'm going to separate those out by whether they're good or whether like I hate the person forever for even suggesting the game to me. So I think that's going to be kind of a fun thing to play with. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it. But I've got them all loaded up onto the PlayStation Classic. I just got to actually like do the recordings and make the script and all that stuff. So I've kind of been running through some of those just like preliminary tests to make sure the games work and like they're even worth covering. Because if something's just like garbage, like I can't even play it, there's no point in doing it, because I hate being that guy that just like craps on things, Like I want to see the merit in it. It's like, oh yeah, I can see why someone would like this game, but it's not for me. Rather than like, why does this game exist? This sucks. Like, I don't want to be that guy. Right. So yeah, I'm making sure the games have some kind of merit to them. But because there are a few that I've played, I'm like, oof. This was a well-loved game back in the day.
Like Dino Crisis?
I don't know yet. I haven't played that one. But yeah, I'm also trying to make it so it's not just RPGs. So I'm trying to do a good variety of things. But what's made it kind of difficult is I'm doing games that haven't been like re-released or remade in a better way. There's kind of a few exceptions, like very loose exceptions that I won't talk about, why. But it's basically it's games that have come out again but aren't better in the re-release. But you know, it's keeping me from putting in things like Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, like the obvious choices that everyone played on the PS1, but I didn't because I don't like those series. Um, I did actually consider doing Tomb Raider. I might still. But,
Don't.
Well, because Brooke really liked that one growing up, and so I
Okay.
I want to kind of like understand what she liked about it. But I think I've got enough other obscure, like more obscure ones that I'd rather
Yeah.
cover instead.
Yeah.
Because Tomb Raider technically wasn't remade. There was a Tomb Raider Anniversary, but that's like kind of a mix of.
It's like a reimagining,
with-
not
yeah.
necessarily a retell, not like
Exactly.
a remake.
So that's one of those gray areas where like I could do it, but I probably won't.
Yeah.
Those are
Plus,
just,
you don't want to.
they're just
Plus
rough to
you'll-
go back to too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
my god,
that's what
yeah.
I've heard.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
There's a few of these that, like the games that came out before the analog stick, and like they were never, you know, like you can't really patch those old games, so they never came out with a better control scheme when there was an analog stick. So you just stuck with the bad controls.
2's better, not by much, but 2's better.
Well, 2 is probably what I would have played because that's the one she played.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
One,
Just don't play the
I think it was like kind of a proof of concept more than anything.
Yeah.
But I did when I got everything set up. I like I said, I was going through a bunch of games and I played some Chrono Cross. And
Uh-oh.
Do you have to
is
leave?
the time?
Is it time?
I got it. You're good to go.
Oh, cool. That's all.
He just set it up. They didn't.
Fine. I didn't want to say hi to my mom anyway. I know. Thank you. Okay, we can cut this.
It's live, baby.
Well, true, but you know, cut it later. Anyway, so yeah, I popped in some Chrono Cross just to, you know, that was one of the games I wanted to make sure it worked because it's been a long time since I played it, and sometimes those like bigger RPGs can have graphical glitches or like the FMVs don't work right, or you know something like triggers a crash. Like I was having some issues with Xenogears, I think it was. But yeah, so I booted that up, and before I knew it, like 3 hours had passed, and I was like, I couldn't stop playing it. So I didn't get to play anything else that first night that I set it up because I just kind of got lost in Chrono Cross again. That's such a good game. And I mean, I'm gonna keep playing it. Like the whole point is like to actually go back and replay a bunch of these games, like play through them again. But I'm trying to, you know, do these videos first so I can kind of get a taste of a bunch that I won't probably play all the way through, and then go deep. And like I was also playing some Mega Man Legends again, and that's a game I never beat, but I really want to get back into. Because like I think I rented it when I had a PS1, so like I never had the time to really devote to it. And then I tried to emulate Mega Man 64, which is the N64 version of Mega Man Legends. The controls on that are awful, like worse than they are on PlayStation 1. Because I mean, that game actually, like graphically, it holds up really well. Like that art style still works, but the controls don't hold up so well. I'm still enjoying it because like there's kind of the auto aim and strafe controls that help, but it's kind of rough. Also some Tony Hawk, always a classic to jump back into. I got Twisted Metal 1 and 2, and they were both kind of awful, but I remember loving Twisted Metal as a kid, so I had to Google it, and apparently the one I played a bunch of was Twisted Metal 4. I had no idea, like growing up, that I was playing the fourth game.
Was that Twisted Metal Black?
No, Twisted Metal Black was on PS2.
Okay.
4 was the one that like had the bedroom level in it. That's like the iconic Twisted Metal level. So I always thought it was 2. But like the first two games are very like arcadey and kind of chunky. Like they weren't running very well. It was like probably 10 frames a second at some points. And graphically they were like super muddy and low poly and stuff. Like
Yep.
4 adds in some more color variety, smooths everything out a little bit. I mean, they're still like none of them play the best, but 4 is much better than the others.
Black is the only good one, honestly.
No, you're wrong.
No, I'm right.
Black is good. Like it definitely controls better, but it's also like it's very brown. Like Twisted Metal Black is extremely brown.
It is, but it's the best playing one out of all of them.
Yeah, but it's not visually interesting. You're not going to enjoy it. Just saying. Aside from those, I played a buttload more Cadence of Hyrule. I'm actually at the end of it. What I really want to talk about, though, is last weekend, I got to do some of the co-op in it with my brother. And that mode is super fun. Like, it's the same game, but you have two people on screen. Can be kind of tricky sometimes if you're not paying attention, because they're moving around with you. So it's like they just kind of look like another enemy on screen. And like I mentioned before, I was playing where you don't have to match the rhythm, where like basically the enemies move as you move. So with that mode, when either of you move, the enemies move. And so it kept throwing me off because like he was going around, hitting all the enemies, and they were running into me because I wasn't moving as fast as he was. So I ended up turning the rhythm back on while we were playing together to make sure that it wasn't tripping me up when enemies were moving when I wasn't. But when I went back to single player, I turned it back off because I don't like that way. But yeah, like we played for a long time together, and it was actually really fun because in that way, like if one of you dies, you can just respawn them at the next Sheikah Stone, and you only get a game over if both of you die. So it's kind of a cheat mode, really, but it's just really handy because like it doesn't actually make anything more difficult. You just have some help. So that was a lot of fun. I kind of wish we could do more of that, but it's only local, and I don't see him that often. So we'll probably both have it beat before then. But yeah, that game's still really good. And like the final area kind of surprised me because I thought I thought I was at the end, like I was at the the boss of the game. But after that, like without spoilers, like a really cool thing happens. And you basically have another section of the game that feels a lot more like the traditional Crypt of the Necrodancer, where it's just like floors and floors of a dungeon. Just because the actual dungeons in the game are pretty short. They're procedurally generated, so it's not random, but like it's kind of a set series of rooms. And it's like maybe there's kind of a main hub area, and you go downstairs into one like procedurally generated area that's like one or two floors, and then kind of a room with a chest that gets you some kind of item, and then you kind of go back up into the hub area, go back down another set of stairs to another one or two floors, and then the boss key room, and then the boss. Like that's it, really. But there's obviously also the overworld. That's the main section, and then this end section. I think I got down like 4 floors before I died. And they were big floors, so there's actually a surprising amount of like end-game content in there after you beat the 4 dungeons. It's still a pretty short game, but I got really mad because I was doing a run that basically was from since I quit playing with my brother, and I played through finished up the entire Hyrule map, got all of the all of the items and all of the upgraded versions of the items, all of the heart pieces. Beat a dungeon, beat that what I thought was the final boss, and then got, like I said, like about 4 levels down in that final dungeon before I just wasn't paying attention and got overwhelmed by enemies and killed. It had probably been like maybe 4 or 5 hours of a solid run without deaths. I had 2,000 rupees built up, 15 keys. The only things you really lose are your timed upgrades, like your boots and things like that are just buffs, and then your money and your keys. And I had so much stuff, and so when you run out of hearts, if you have a potion, your potions auto refill, basically like fairies, but potions cost money. So I ended up using all my potions, still died, and now I have to go farm money so I can get enough potions to beat the game again. It's frustrating. So I had to quit then. I was like, nope, this run went too long. I'm done. But yeah, I love that game. It's definitely going to be on my Game of the Year list this year. For an indie game, it's extremely polished and very well done. That's mostly it. The Harry Potter mobile game that I've been talking about dropped yesterday. I got to play around with it a little bit, but this week's actually been pretty busy because of all the employee appreciation stuff that I was kind of spearheading. So I didn't really get to run around outside too much, plus it was raining all week. But I will say it's a very steep learning curve, like especially if you're used to Pokemon Go, that's very simple and obvious. This is like you open it up and there's like 15 opening screens, and then it goes into the game and starts like doing like tutorial dialogue boxes with like Harry Potter and all them, like explaining what each screen does and like the things you're supposed to do with them. And like the first time you load up like a thing to capture, it's like 3 or 4 dialogue boxes of like, here's what you have to do here, blah, 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 you have to cast a spell, and then you catch it, and it's another few dialogue boxes of like, and when you catch it, this happens, and then like, it goes to a screen of what you've collected, and it's like, these things are for this purpose, and it's like, everything is explained all up front. So the first like 3 or 4 times you go into any screen, it has something to explain to you. So finally today, like I jumped in for a little bit just as I was walking around, and it stopped explaining everything to me. But like, in a game that's built to be like just played while you're walking around, like on an AR map, it's a lot of reading. So that was kind of turning me off at first. But there is a lot of depth to it, and I want to give it more tries, especially since Pokemon Go's kind of burnt me lately. But I will say that like the whole collection idea is not as well done. Because like in Pokemon Go, it's very simple. Like you see a Pokemon pop up on screen, and if it's one you want, you tap on it, you catch it, you move on. If it's not one you want, you keep walking. You know what it is. With this, it's like there's different types of what are called foundables that you can capture. And so like, one might be like a hippogriff that you have to stop the thing attacking it and capture the hippogriff. And so it'll go back to like Newt Scamander's briefcase or whatever. Or you might catch like a snitch and it'll go to like the Quidditch grounds.
And you shank them, right? You shank the snitch? Snitches get stitches?
Wow.
I'm glad one of us did it.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I thought you said shake at first. That's why I was confused. Anyway, or you might like save a well-known character and they'll go back to Hogwarts. And so like basically instead of like Pokemon that are all just like in a box, you're collecting kind of the images of different things or people that you're saving. So when you see the things on the map, it's just like it's a symbol that indicates like what area it belongs to. So like if it's a beast, it'll have like a paw print on it. If it's a character, it'll have like the 9 3/4 like Hogwarts symbol on it. Things like that. So you don't actually know what it is until you tap on it and go to the capture screen. And some of these things, like you have to capture them multiple times before you get the image of them. Other things you only have to capture once. So it's like it's a loading screen to get into the capture. And then if it's something you don't care about, you're already there. Like, so it's kind of weird the way that works. But I get, there's actually a pretty cool animation, like a 3D kind of it's really nice graphics basically. And that would not be easy to render on the overworld map because it's a little more involved than just like a Pokemon on screen. But I don't like it either. Like I don't like that you don't know what you're capturing until you tap on it because it's less immersive. But yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of items and things like that I don't know what any of them do yet. But it's neat. I want to keep giving it a try. It is really fun because you like make your Wizard ID badge. And like I keep forgetting to do this. You can take a picture of yourself and like put like different accessories on it, kind of like Snapchat. You can like put a wizard's hat on and like a scarf and glasses and different things, kind of like doll yourself up like a wizard. You give yourself a wizard name. You pick your house. You pick like what your wand looks like. All kinds of cool stuff there. And you can change your appearance at any time, that kind of thing.
I thought the wands choose the witch or wizard though.
Well, that's not how it works in this.
Okay.
It
The
kind of
houses
is
are supposed to like something else supposed to choose the house.
Yeah,
You should take a personality quiz.
that's how
and
they
then you
should
get
do
it
it,
right.
probably. Answer questions and then your house is picked for you.
Yeah.
Yo, bitch ass Slytherin, you evil motherfucker.
But people be like, no, that's not right, and they game the system anyway. So you might as well pick what they want.
People are
It's
bitter.
kind of a neat system because it's not like you just pick whatever you want. It's like for the houses, it kind of gives a description of the kind of person that's in each house, and then you pick the one that best describes you. So it's still like you're deciding, but theoretically you would decide based on what's actually accurate to you. Like I've always associated myself with Gryffindor, but as far as like what they showed for each house, Ravenclaw fit me best, so I picked that one. I probably would be Ravenclaw, honestly, but
Nobody gives a shit about Ravenclaw, sadly, in the books. They
I
get
know
the
that's
reason
why I
why.
don't care. But it pretty much fit to a T, so you know. And with the wands, like you choose the material the wand's made out of, and so you can go through and like see a description of each. There's a bunch of different kinds of wood and stuff, and you can see kind of like what each one means. So it's like, you know, this kind of wood is best for like a creative dreamer. It's not the most powerful, but it's got a diverse spell list that's adaptable to any magician type thing. Or it's like there's like the U wand or the Elder Wand. I mean, that's like, you know, the one from the movies.
Yeah.
And you pick Elder Wand as your wood, but it's like it's a very volatile material that only is suited for the most powerful wizard. So it's that kind of thing. It's like you can do whatever you want, but and then there's 3 kinds of cores, and it explains what those are. And then there's like the length you can choose, and a few things like that. And it like generates kind of a model of your wand after you've made your selections. So it's not like you're just haphazardly picking, but it's also not forcing you in any way. But that was my favorite part, honestly. It was like, you know, in Pokemon it feels very impersonal. Like the Pokemon are the thing that you're attached to. But this feels more like it's you doing it, like you're part of the process. And the actual gameplay is just kind of secondary. But also, it's like I said, it's been out a day. So remember where Pokemon Go was when it was out for a day? There's a lot of room for this thing to improve. It's in a much better state than Pokemon Go was day one, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, like the way you like do the wands, it's like the spells and stuff, is not very fun. It's like drawing the shape of the spell on screen and then watching the animation happen. That's pretty much it. I wish it was a little more actively involved. Like maybe you have to like, you know, maneuver the wand like to capture, like kind of do motions like, you know, fishing almost.
You should have to speak into your phone's speaker and say the spell.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're already trying to put a bigger focus on the AR stuff, which I turn off immediately because it's embarrassing.
Don't look at me, I like Harry Potter.
Right.
Even though it's super popular, millions of people read it.
Yeah, if anyone out there is also playing it, my Potter ID or whatever, Wizard ID, I don't know what it's called, is on Twitter, so check that out.
Join him, or you will join him, or you will go to Azkaban prison.
Well, I honestly don't know what friends are for yet, but that's true in real life too. So.
What are friends for?
What else is
The great question of our time.
new?
In this
Yeah, I
essay,
think
I
that's-
will show.
I know that was a lot, but I'll end with I think that's it for me.
All right, Ben, what have you been up to?
I beat Castlevania Bloodlines, and it's my new favorite classic Castlevania.
Whoop, whoop.
Sorry, Rondo Blood. It's still a very good game. Yeah, I don't think it's just because it's on the Genesis and has those twang noises, but I think overall aesthetically, because this came out after Super Castlevania 4, which has better controls, and it came before Rondo Blood, and Rondo Blood to me has the better overall presentation. Bloodlines has just cool, unique set pieces, 2 different playable characters, a bitchin' soundtrack. Like, I understand it's on the Genesis and people get like turned off on that immediately, but like there's some really good tracks on there that take full advantage of what makes the Genesis sound chip unique. Yeah, like I said, there's like graphically, you know, it had a lot to live up to the Super Castlevania 4, which at that time came out 4 years before, and you know, and how cool Dracula's Castle looked. But this time, you're traveling across Europe to fight this woman who's trying to resurrect Dracula, and you know, you go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and you're on like ancient like walkways. It's super cool. Like, it's some of the more unique stages in Castlevania, where you're not just going through Dracula's castle and hoping you don't hit a Medusa head. You know, it's super dope. Only Rondo of Blood has the same sort of aesthetic, but even then, eventually, you get to Dracula's Castle. Even Dracula's Castle Or whatever. It's not Dracula's Castle, but it's called something that it's super unique. It's supposed to be unique in the series. So I haven't done the other playthrough with John Lecard, who has a spear. I did it with the Belmont character from Texas, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
And he's pretty fun. I save scummed a lot because I don't have time to keep dying and.
Because you're bad.
Yeah, because I'm bad and I want to beat the game and fuck it, whatever you give me the option.
I totally get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, and Dracula isn't as hard. For sure, this is possibly the easiest Dracula I ever faced. Even his final form wasn't that bad. It's just dodging when you need to. The only thing I hate though is that it does the old school thing where you get like an ending and thus Dracula's castle fell. The end. Try expert mode. Fuck no.
Yep.
Just look at the Just look up. It's like a little bit of text. You don't even get much. You just get a little bit of text. It's not worth expert mode.
If you want the real ending, play expert mode.
Yeah, I hate that. Ghosts and Goblins is the worst of that shit. You have to beat the game twice just to get the actual ending. Not even a true ending, just the actual fucking ending.
And that's like it's exactly the same each time you play.
Yeah, pretty much same gameplay. You just have to do it twice because we gotta get money out of you. Or
you can go in near and do something different with it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have $20, oh, here's a cool thing I got to mention. It's because it's not nearly newsy, but it's significant. They patched this game, this collection actually. So now, when I talked about it a couple weeks ago, when I talked about beating first Castlevania, I kind of hated how the button was mapped, and it just threw me off, and I had to adjust to it. Well, now they patched it to where you can button map in this game. So my jump was B. I could change my jump to B, and my whip attack is Y, and now I'll try out Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse or whatever it's called. And also you can actually play the Japanese versions of these games now. You scroll to the bottom of the select screen and hit JP version, and there you go. I think there's some differences. The only one I know about is that Castlevania 3 for the NES is not significantly easier, but it's easier than its US counterpart. So if I play Castlevania 3, it'll be the Japanese version. So there's that. So yeah, if you have $20 or want to wait on sale, I say get it. Again, I'm still salty about Rondo of Blood not being on there and Kid Dracula being on there because it's classic Castlevania. Like it's the only one missing. But overall, still a good time. Go play it. And the other game, I went back to Yakuza this week, much to Thomas's delight. And I'm at a point where I don't know where I am with this game right now. Because...
That's what happens when you don't play a game for like a year.
Not a year. I played it like a couple months ago.
Okay.
So like I like where it's going and the whole real estate stuff, and Kiryu is like human. It's like male perfection because he's just such a big idiot, but he has a big heart and will kick your ass if you wrong. He's Japanese Superman. That's what he is. Just a little bit more violent. But and this is the part where I'm kind of iffy and calling blasphemous. But the second like it introduced where you have to be a real estate mogul, and I'm like, why? And so basically, you have to buy businesses. Because now you're working for this guy called Tachibana, who is trying to buy this lot for story reasons, and the Yakuza one. It's a whole story thing.
It's a way to get you money so you can get upgrades.
Yeah, it's a way to get you money, but I like and so basically you hire people you've done for circus. It just seems like I don't want to do that.
You don't have to do it.
To get like you have to because like the next to progress your character. In terms of his skills, it's like 30 million yen, and you're not gonna get that by fighting constant dudes unless you do it for hours. Like
yeah, just don't do it.
I feel like it's gonna force me. I'm gonna give it a shot. Other than knowing that it doesn't, I looked this up while googling it. It's not super obvious what businesses are available to buy.
No, it's not.
And you anybody who plays Yakuza 0, I noticed nobody brought this up when talking about Yakuza 0, and I kind of hate y'all for that.
What, the businesses?
Yeah, this whole thing, this whole real estate shit. I probably would have like held off a little bit. I'm like, I don't know about that.
I liked it because I like grinding in games. Like that's my thing.
I just want to beat up. Also, Thomas, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but like all of a sudden, once I hit that chapter, the fucking AI turned on for the fucking thugs. Like I'm just getting my ass kicked now.
Really?
Like, yeah, like I'm getting like I try to do punches, another asshole comes in. Before I was like dominating these dudes, like they were nothing. And it's like, what happened?
What style are you using?
I switch between all three of them. Normally I have to switch to the brawler one because like that allows me to like chuck them down. But like I don't know what the fuck. Like I try to do a combo or try to do startup and they just keep wailing on me. I'm like, what the hell?
I had no problem.
I don't know. But yeah, so I'm not saying this game is bad or anything because like it still feels satisfying when you do like a side quest story. Like here's a spoiler one. Once you get to start the real estate thing, Kiryu notices that the radio's on. He changes the station to this DJ, and this DJ loves to read out postcards. And like Kiryu's just like, I want to do that, and he has the biggest like childlike wonder with it. He's like,
he's such a doofus.
Yeah, he's just and you get something if you get red 3 times. It's super adorable. But I thought I did this mini game. I guess I was wrong, but I did the phone call mini game. Where, so there's a business in Kamurocho where you basically get to talk to girls on the phone, and it's
yeah.
It's not phone sex, but it's like you can leave there.
It is.
Yeah, it's basically phone sex. So like it's super funny. So basically you're like it's like a shooter where like you have to roll the left or right analog stick, and you have to like you're trying to get to say the right thing and not be a creep. And the words are constantly switching out, like, and you don't want to offend, and you can easily offend just because you're distracted by the hot Japanese woman. It's like the imagery in your head. And if you say the wrong thing, they're going to hang up on you. And what's super cool about it is, like, every time you get a button prompt to answer the phone, and, like, Kiryu just goes into this super as fuck anime-ass pose and grabs it all dynamically, and there's, like, it's super dorky, but it works. But I did manage to complete one phone call with a woman, and she did like sounded super hot, and she had short hair, and I'll be wearing. And so like you actually meet this woman, and she's like all right looking. She's not ugly, but like Kiryu's like, ugh, this is not what I imagined at all. It's like, god damn. So like I'm gonna still play it. It's just like. I don't really play games for my PC a lot anymore because Switch has kind of taken over my life, and I like playing, either portably or on my bed or docked. So like I have to make an effort to play Yakuza, but I'm gonna make it an effort. And again, if you're gonna do the business model stuff, which I'm going to, because I feel like that's an easy way to get money. Use a guide because it'll tell you what business is available, but not all of them are listed on there, and you have to go up to them, and sometimes it's not there. It's really weird. So just use a guide.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lost in translation thing because all the signs on the streets are in Japanese. So I figure, like, it'd be easier if you can read Japanese. You would just be able to read the businesses that you can buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like some of the businesses are like it's weird because they should have at least, if they weren't going to do that for aesthetic reasons, because you're not going to just have a random English sign there.
Yeah.
For aesthetic reasons, they could have at least marked it on the map.
Yeah.
Like these are the businesses you can buy, and you can go up to them like, okay, this is 10 million yen, I want to invest, or this is X million yen. So, but it's fun. Also, Miracle Johnson, 48 million for your service? Fuck no, no. I'm not paying you that much. But
you'll pay him that much if you hit the end game of it. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. So I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like I was taken aback. I'm like, oh, this busy, because it felt like busy shit. It felt like open world busy shit that didn't like. I'm like, man.
Yeah, it's a grind. Yeah, it's a total grind.
Fuck. It's stupid. I hate it. I didn't even do this shit when I played Assassin's Creed.
And you need to do that. I love that stuff in like Brotherhood and 2 and stuff.
I did it, but like I think if I played this game like maybe like 6-7 years ago, I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's do it. When I had time on my hands, now I don't. Can I just do fun, stupid, quirky side quests and?
Yeah, that's the thing that you can totally skip out on. You'll just miss out on the higher tier upgrades. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I feel like the game's gonna. Me personally, I feel like the game's gonna punish me if I don't.
And guess what? You're also gonna be locked out of the 4th move set.
Wait, how?
Because if you don't complete it, you don't get the 4th move set.
See, that's bullshit.
Like the Dragon of Dojima,
well,
you don't get any of those skills.
Like, let me ask you this: you've beaten the game, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, so like, is it like, am I gonna get my ass severely handed to me if I don't have those? I imagine I will, because it's just how the game works.
I grinded for it, so
Yeah,
like, I was like really, I found it really easy.
Okay.
So
it
probably
you don't do anything. That's the thing. You just have to remember to go back to that building.
Are you buying like a lot of health potions and stuff?
Before, not, I was for a little bit, but
yeah.
like now when the boys started kicking my ass, then I started buying them.
Yeah, always be stocked up on health potions. Like have your entire inventory full of them. That's what I did.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've been doing, because they don't cost much.
No, you can buy a ton of them. Like, super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably keep playing it. It's just like I really don't play it on my days off, so it's only twice a week, and it's if I'm in the mood. But outside of that, besides more Yakuza, I actually started Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 for the Switch, and because I wasn't really the biggest fan of 1. I beat it on the 3DS, and I tried being on the Switch. I'm just like, I beat you already. I don't want to go through the extra effort of getting the true ending, which is so batshit insane how what you have to do to get it, and what the game expects you to do. So I started the second one, and you get 2 playable characters now. You get Gunvolt, who plays as he does normally from the first game, but the other new character you get is Copen, who was introduced in the first game. He's basically your Zero, and I tried him first because I figured, well, okay, that's a different gameplay style, and he's completely different from Gunvolt. He actually dashes into. You can actually like dash into enemies. That's how you do your disfield charge or whatever it's called, and it's pretty cool. Like, and he can like zip through levels, like air dashing and dashing. And it works similarly. If you press double down, you can recharge. You can recharge that. You can do fast. You could do air dashes where you can like, so instead of like just wall jumping, you can go a little bit faster that way. And the story, I don't really care about the story. I don't give a shit, because my god, the intro is just so boring, exposition heavy, and it's in Japanese, which isn't a bad thing for me, but like, it's just like, I don't care. I didn't care. But the only thing that really griped my nerves about it was, so in the first game, you had these things called missions, where if you played a stage, you selected up to 3, you would get rewards. Those are back, but you don't have to select them initially. You don't have to select them. It's like, oh, okay, but at least from what I'm seeing, they only stack up to 3, because so like some of them are like finish the stage with a rank of B or higher, or finish with the rank A or higher. I've gotten rank A, but I've only been rewarded for the rank B one, not the rank A one, which doesn't. I'm like, why wasn't I rewarded for both? It doesn't stack for some reason, or at least let me choose, you know. But like outside of that, like the Copen's gameplay is super legit. Like I really enjoyed it. I've only beaten 1 boss with him, and I struggled with it because like first it seems like all you can do is this pistol move, and like he can actually destroy enemies with this pistol, unlike Goval, who can just tag, and it takes super long to destroy that. So you're intended to dash into people, and I think I might have just been falling asleep during the exposition part where they explained his dash mechanic, and once I figured that out, I'm like, oh my god, this is super badass. Let's go. You can't tag multiple people though. So like Gunvolt can tag up to 3 enemies at once. Copen can only tag 1, but it drains his health pretty quickly, so it's not too bad. The soundtrack is still kick-ass. The sprite work is still awesome. NT Works is, obviously one of the better developers when it comes to those classic retro style games. So yeah, I'm gonna play it more because it's also shorter. So in the last game, Gunvolt, you have 8 bosses. This one, per character, you have 4, and it's not the same bosses. Like Gunvolt gets two bosses exclusive to him. Excuse me, Gunvolt gets 2 bosses exclusive to him, and Copen gets 2 bosses exclusive to him. So it's shorter, but probably between both campaigns, it's the same. And also, you can switch in and out at the same time. You just have to quit to the main menu, and just once you click your save file, it'll ask you which one you want to choose, and it doesn't use your progress. So it seems fun so far. I think there's a lot of part I like about it over the first one.
Wasn't there a collection of all the 3DS games on the Switch?
Yeah, that's the one I'm playing off of.
Okay. I thought you were saying like you were just playing 2, like you owned 2 on its own.
No. I bought this back during Christmas and it was like $20.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was waiting on a sale on that and I hadn't seen anything about it, but I'll look again.
Yeah, I did. I bought this a while ago. I just never got to it. But yeah, I think that's about it. Because Final Fantasy VII, I just got to the Midgar Zolom, so didn't really progress that much. And I tried to fight him. Like, well, I expected that. Going back to Street Fighter this week. I haven't talked about that in a while. And I'm rusty as fuck because I haven't played that game since February. Since that first assignment I had, and it shows. But I had fun. I actually had played somebody with another Discord. I'm on the Super Couch Fighters Discord, and he played him and I played, and we had a really good set. Like it gave me that rush again when I used to play Street Fighter, and I thought to myself, why am I playing this game? There's too much other stuff out there. Speaking of that, I almost forgot. This is the last thing. Mortal Kombat, because Shang Tsung came out this week.
Oh, you asked that.
Yeah, I forgot because I only played it for one day. Shang is all right. Probably not gonna make him. I've never really been a Shang Tsung person, but I will say the movie costume, while it's cool, I don't want to use it because it doesn't fit aesthetically with the rest of the game. Because like everybody has like these cool, unique-looking costumes or military outfits. His like kind of biker-esque look, it just doesn't fit. It's cool. It's not bad. It's not anything. It just doesn't fit for me. So I like the younger version with like he's like wearing like. He looks like a costume. He's wearing a costume, It is a little bit weird when because it's Terutogawa, so when he's getting like his head chopped off or like his, things happen, I'm like, oh god, this is a real person. This is kind of brutal. I hate that I can't. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional here because it's kind of heartbreaking. I hate that I can't have all the ninja moves in one variation. That's annoying.
Really?
Yeah. Because none of the ninja moves are part of his core set. So I don't know if we talked about this in Mortal Kombat, but basically you can customize your variation to create a new one. Every character has a core set, which they are always going to have these moves unless you customize it and one move is replaced or another. And with none of the ninja moves are part of that core set. So you use only up to 3. You can't have Rain's super kick, Reptile slide, Smoke's counter, and Ermac's lift all at once. I think that's all of them.
Say Smoke?
Yes, it's Smoke. Yeah, I think this is 4. So you have to choose, and some of them can have better combos. And to me, like that's the only reason I'll play this version of Shang Tsung is because of the ninjas. Like doing. I already found like a small little basic as bitch combo with Ermac's lift slam. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, this seems like a missed opportunity to not have just like a variation that's all of that stuff. Like instead of transforming, he just has those moves.
Yeah, exactly. Like it bothers me. It bothers me that like his second variation, like the tournament preset one, is not the ninja one. But so I created my own and called it Ninja Magic because that's sorry. But then I tried. I'm like, oh wait, I have to unlock all this shit. Oh, and I didn't want to do that. Not right now. So Shang's all right. The ninjas are cool, but nothing else to report on. That's it for me.
Cool. So yeah, over here, Thomas Land. I just been grinding in the Crucible for Destiny 2. Finally got my Recluse. It's absolutely worth it to get the Recluse. It's such a beast in game.
That's an ironic name for that game. Because you have to be a recluse to get it.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. It's not ironic.
Yeah, the gun is absolutely beast in PvE and PvP. It's got basically a super buff version of some other perks that already exist, where it gives you more damage and faster reload for killing enemies, and it doesn't even stick to that gun. You can go to, like, if you use another gun and kill an enemy, it buffs that gun when you go back to it. It's nuts. Right now the Iron Banner is on, so I've been grinding for some Iron Banner stuff, like new armor and stuff. Iron Banner is pretty cool. It's basically like a capture the point. You want to have 2 different points. If you capture the third one, it locks out everyone else, and you get 3 points for each kill. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been destroying in Crucible lately. And a PSA, if you have the Lord of Wolves, use that, because apparently they're not gonna nerf that gun for a while, and it's been destroying in Crucible. Even supers, like it just melts people that are in supers. It's ridiculous. So that's my little tip for you guys out there that are playing that game.
But then everyone's going to use it, and it's not going to be effective anymore. It's going to be the golden gun in GoldenEye.
Yeah, it's just going to be the gun that everyone uses, and it's already kind of like that. Yeah. So I've been basically using that and then Austringer as my primary, which is just a hand cannon. It's a really good hand cannon from the Menagerie. So that's basically going to be my week. It's just Iron Banner stuff. Me and Justin played some Borderlands over the weekend. Yeah. I think we're finally getting like our loadouts right. Like my guns, or at least my guns anyways. My guns feel pretty good now where we are.
It's getting there. Like my problem was I was relying too much on one gun. And so like I had 4 unlocked, but I wasn't using them because I didn't like them. So, but I was like, I felt obligated to have like a rocket launcher, a sniper, like that kind of thing. But I kind of just used pistols, so I might as well just have multiple different elemental pistols. Like one that has a scope, one that's faster fire rate, like still some variety, but just stick to pistols.
Yeah, I mostly have a submachine gun that I use as my primary. And then if I'm down, I switch to a rocket launcher just so I could blast like some nobody and get revived back. And then sniper for long range and shotgun. That's basically what I've been using.
Yeah.
We're trying to power through to the end. So
there's so many side quests. It's not worth it.
There's a billion side quests.
We'll never beat this whole series if we focus on the side quests.
So yeah, we're gonna try and just mainline through it. I thought about streaming it, but like the day that we were playing, I was too lazy to stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I was feeling low energy too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically been it. Most of my week has been just Destiny and then reading books and watching movies.
I've been doing a lot of like random little things. It's just like I just want something up while I'm watching things.
Yeah.
So it seems like I played a lot, but it's like little spurts of things during a show.
I've been doing the thing where I just like have my laptop up and I'm just falling asleep while watching The Matrix or Face Off or something.
Yeah, bad movies. I get it.
Oh, great. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like you need to put a bad movie on so you can fall asleep. I get that.
Those are great movies.
Then why'd you fall asleep?
Because it's the thing I do before bed. Instead of watching porn before bed, I watch movies now.
I'm just like, I've never fallen asleep. That's not true. I was going to say I've never fallen asleep during a good movie. But I fall asleep during every movie now because I'm 30.
Right? Exactly. That's what happens when you get old.
Yeah. Every night we watch a movie. Like, we're trying to go through all the Harry Potter movies. Brooke will go over, she's like, are you asleep? I'm like, no. What just happened?
Right. So let's move on into some news. I'm going to throw this in here real quick for some Destiny news. There was an article that came out from Bungie telling everyone to just dismantle all of their Eververse cosmetics because you'll be able to repurchase it after September 17th with just Glimmer and Legendary Shards instead of Dust. So if you want to have all your, like, as much dust as possible, shard all that stuff, and then you can just reacquire what you want with cheaper currency. Because they're retooling the way Eververse works. Yeah, they're going to make it more friendly so that you can get dust and stuff from bounties instead of having to buy loot boxes and then sharding stuff from that, or just earning them throughout the game.
How are they going to monetize Destiny 2 when it goes free to play? Because Eververse was their monetization thing.
It's still going to be there, but it's going to be more of like you can probably still buy loot boxes and probably just buy the stuff that you want for silver. Like, have both options.
Okay.
Because that's what it is right now. But they're just telling people to do this so you get as much dust as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I assumed they were going to like go heavier on the the pay elements when it goes free to play. It sounds like they're simplifying it. Weirdly.
Yeah. It's definitely a good change. Also, they're gonna have it so that the Eververse like armor, they've already made it so that it wouldn't have good perks like most of the time if you buy it, because they didn't want pay to win, and now they're just gonna have it be a cosmetic item that you can just apply to your armor, like an ornament, which is pretty cool. Less pay to win crap.
Good.
It seems like since they split from Activision, they've been a bit more friendly.
It's almost like Activision was ruining them. Imagine that.
Right.
That doesn't sound like Activision at all.
Speaking of giant companies ruining things, EA calls its loot boxes surprise mechanics and that they're used ethically. So a senior executive at Electronics Arts told United Kingdom's Parliament that the company prefers to call loot boxes surprise mechanics and argue that their use in EA games is quite ethical and quite fun and enjoyable to people.
People love it. Don't you love it? As they hold a gun to your back.
I think somebody said it best on Twitter. It's like, that sounds like a Simpsons thing you hear from The Simpsons.
It's like Troy McClure.
Yeah.
I guarantee I could Google EA loot boxes and find half a dozen quotes where they called them loot boxes. They don't call them surprise mechanics. That sounds stupid.
They're just making this stuff up.
Yeah, some PR person's like, we'll call them that for the hearing today.
Right.
Fuck EA.
Hopkins compared loot boxes to other products such as Kinder Eggs, a chocolate treat with a toy in the center, and Hatchimals.
They're illegal in America, so...
Wait, are they really?
Loot boxes should be too. Yeah. Kinder Eggs are illegal because they have a toy in the middle, and hungry fat Americans would just eat like
choking hazard
and choke on the toys. In
the
middle.
My god, that's such an American thing.
Yeah, I wish I was kidding.
We sell them in friggin' movie theaters here.
Yeah. Here's the thing though about that comparison that they made is that like the difference is that you're paying for that toy and sure it's a guess what you want toy, but you're not paying for anything else. You didn't pay for something and then had to pay extra for the toy. You're paying for more than most of your games, a $60 game, and then because of how certain, not all their games, but some of the games, they structure to where it forces some people, or at least triggers some people's minds to be like, well, I feel like I have to do it this way.
Yeah.
So that's the issue for the comparison.
Plus, with Kinder Eggs, you're getting chocolate no matter what, even if the toy sucks.
Yeah.
But I will say they've brought Kinder Eggs back recently, but it's actually a two-piece thing where you open it up and half of it is chocolate and half of it is a toy in a foil.
Wow.
Yeah. America's the best.
I don't even know what to say to that. It's just so... That's very American.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is more quotes.
Surprises, she said to an audience that's probably gotten a million dick pics in their Twitter DMs.
Yeah. So yeah, this more, trying marketing spin on their defense for loot boxes, pretty much. This is such a joke.
You didn't read this article. It says, but the comparison to Kinder Eggs was quite ironic, given that the chocolate eggs were banned in the U.S. until recently over concerns the prizes were a choking hazard. Read the articles, dude.
Oh, damn! Getting called the fuck out live. What is this, pro wrestling?
I'm just saying, I admit to that every week.
I know.
Thomas, you gotta do a shoot promo on Justin next week.
This is even extra ironic because I hadn't read it until I said that, and then I flipped over to the article and saw that they made my case for me.
But did you read it on Reddit?
Alright,
no,
moving on.
That's what I'm saying.
Alright, moving on.
I hadn't read it on Reddit or otherwise.
Okay, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Tifa isn't getting smaller chests, just a proper brawl. So this comes from I believe originally it came from an interview from what's that Japanese magazine called? Famitsu, where
only one I know of.
It wasn't like translated properly, and then we finally got a proper translation from Gaijin Hunter.
Oh, what a shock! A game journaling website doesn't do their fucking research.
Restrict. So in summary, Tifa was not requested to get a smaller chest, only to be given a proper garment. That said, of course, it makes sense for Tifa to wear high-impact sports bra. Tifa fights, runs, jumps, does all sort of shit.
It's gonna change, otherwise it doesn't.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the actual quoted stuff here.
It's down at the end. I can read it. So the question is, her bust is quite large. Was there any special consideration for that? Answer. First, we wanted her to have more defined abdominal muscles, so we leaned toward an athletic style for her design. Our ethics department had asked that we make sure that her top wasn't loose, so that her chest wouldn't come off as unnatural during heavy action sequences. That's logical. So we took her simplistic upper body clothing and added black undergarments and made it a tank top so that it fits her body well, resulting in a fit and sporty design.
Wasn't it a tank top in her original design?
Actually, it looks like it was. Like if
it's just like
sprites. Like there's a black part underneath her top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but now
then,
it's
like,
actual.
in FMVs and stuff, it's not there.
Like I just don't get like. Well, maybe I do because they're idiots. But I'm like, guys, this game's coming to PC. If you want to do Tifa nude mods and Aerith nude mods, they're gonna be there. If you're that fucking thirsty, it's gonna be there. Just gotta wait. If you want to see naked Tifa and Aerith, you could just go to Rule 34, and there's a lot of good art there.
Right.
Didn't we talk about an article way back where Square was going to crack down on the new mods?
Yeah.
You can't. You can say that. You can't stop that shit.
Yeah.
There's a full Claire and Ada Wong nude mod for Resident Evil 2 on PC. You can, so like it's gonna happen. True. I did. What are they gonna do? Like once it's up there, and a person gets it, that's it. That's all it takes. You can't shut down every person who has the mod. But yeah, don't.
I like this article. I'm going to talk more about breasts now. So if you're uninterested or uncomfortable, stop now. But I promise it will be educational. Okay, so I'm actually going to read this part because people are stupid. And they don't understand how boobs work. So, like I mentioned, not having proper clothing during sports can be painful and disastrous. As reported in an ESPN article, the nipples on a C or D cup breast can accelerate up to 45 miles per hour in 1 second without a bra, and do so in a figure eight pattern. In an hour of jogging, a pair of breasts will bounce several thousand times. A third of the women, and I didn't read this before I started reading it, it might have been a mistake. A third of the women in the 2012 London Marathon surveyed for a study reported breast pain from exercise, and those reports increased with cup size. According to the NHS website, about 70% of women are wearing the wrong size bra, which contributes to pain experienced by exercising without proper support. This is exacerbated, that's a lot of EX words, by the limits of bra sizes as well. That's not that interesting, actually. Tifa would have an another EX word, excruciatingly hard time finding it's her small band cut, I don't know what that says, body in the real world, and I wish I knew where she shopped to get her perfectly fitted. I did reach out to comment by a bra fit specialist, but I imagine they have better things to do than fit an imaginary video game character. This is great.
Yeah, but don't worry, guys. Tifa still has her big old bitties, but you just can't see them as easily. I mean you couldn't see them back then. Yeah, stupid.
I'm actually way more interested in Tifa's tits than I realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be interested in later tonight.
I mean, I just find it interesting that like they actually did the research and like made it look right, and people are still upset about that because my nudes.
It doesn't. It's my waifu. You're hurting my waifu. Stupid.
Right. Like they did the work. It's not their fault. You don't know how boobs work.
Because they've never touched a boob or seen a real boob in their life.
Right. Sports bras are a necessary part of physical activity. Deal with nerds.
Speaking of physical activity, let's talk about fighting games. The Combat League is here. Earn exclusive skins and gear in a brand new seasonal mode for Mortal Kombat 11. Ben, talk about it.
So this is the Season of Blood. This is the quote-unquote ranked mode, as Thomas said. It's going to go over a course of 4 weeks. It actually started a couple days ago at the time of recording, June 18th. So basically, it's like a typical ranked mode. As you win, you rank up higher. You actually get exclusive gear, exclusive costumes. And this season, it seems like they're going to be doing the seasonal, so they'll change it up. This season on Blood, and there's a sick ass katana, red, black one that I want. So there's that. One of the cooler things is that so by the end of the season, when you claim your rewards, it's not so. Say if you got up to a certain level, like a pretty high level, and say you had a bad day, and you dropped all the way down, you will be rewarded the highest tier because you've reached there. It doesn't matter where you ended up; it's for how far you got. So keep fighting is what I'm saying. Don't give up. It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be only 4 weeks, which is straight from Killer Instinct. Because Killer Instinct will do the same thing where they, at the end of each month, they would reset the. It's not the same thing, but the idea is similar, where they would reset the rank list, and you can go from there. That's really about it. Nothing much to go other than that. Click the whole video to see what it says. But so yeah, exclusive costumes, 4 weeks, and good luck.
I do like the idea of these like seasonal. Seasonal content can be hit or miss sometimes, but in a fighting game like where it's just cosmetics, I think it's really cool. Yeah. Because, it's really just for the competitive players, and they're gonna eat this up. The casual players probably won't care anyway.
Yeah. So like, if you want to go in there, you can, again, the idea, because you can't even really use some of this. You probably won't be able to use some of these skins in competitive mode, like ranked tournament matches, anyways. So I might jump in there and play it, but again, I don't know how. They haven't said how long, like when the next one will be. I doubt they're gonna do it every month. Like maybe who knows? But I imagine everything's gonna have a different sort of theme, and you'll get different colors, costumes based on that. So, yeah, I'm just glad the fact that the best thing about it is, like, again, where if, like, say you get super high ranked and you have a bad day, you're gonna get the rewards based on how far you got and not where you ended up, which is super cool. Because most ranked modes in fighting games are super demoralizing. Because having played Street Fighter for the past 4 years now, oh my god, where it takes forever to rank up in that game, and then all it takes is one bad night, and it's super demoralizing. Like, it's like losing is part of everything, but man, it sucks to lose, and you lose so many points. So yeah, there's no reason to not keep playing, and even if you lose a lot, if you get to a certain point. But yeah, fight.
Okay, so for our last news story, we'll talk about Twitch suing streamers who flooded the artifact category with porn. So do you guys know what Artifact is?
It's a card game, isn't it?
Yes, it's a card game by Valve. It was supposed to be their next big, like, Dota kind of thing.
It's not on mobile, is it? I looked for it when I played Legends instead.
Yeah, I don't think it is. So, anyways, Artifact, it kind of just been shitting the bed, like, in playership and viewership on Twitch, and just Valve. It's just not been, it's like a non-starter for them, pretty much, after they spent millions on this thing. And apparently someone took advantage and started creating streams for Twitch and labeling them as Artifact streams. In reality, they've been porn streams and memes and other fun content. And Twitch is now going to sue them, even though they don't know who they are. Since the lawsuit goes on to say Twitch who... Wait, hang on. I wanted to get the... okay, so because Twitch doesn't currently know who's actually responsible for violating the streams, the lawsuit identifies the defendants as John and Jane Doe 1 to 100. The first defendant, Doe 1, is described as a person or entity responsible for the whole part. And then after that is Doe 2 to 100, ratified, endorsed, or was otherwise involved in the acts complained of, and have a liability for such acts. So they're basically just suing, like, nobodies? I don't know how this works.
It was the Russians.
I don't know enough about law stuff.
I'm not a big city lawyer here, but
this is an entity trying to get money from unknown individuals.
Exactly.
So it's not the same thing. Because, like, if a group of people sue a company, like, it's, on behalf of, like, a group of people in that company, the company has to pay up. But when a company is just suing anonymous, basically, there's nothing to grab onto there unless their goal is to use the legal system to find out the identities of these people.
I think that's what they're trying to do. Is says you're pursuing litigation to identify these actors.
Yeah. They could be able to like use those ways to like gather evidence, in a way to get the data of the people, like kind of cross where the streams came from, find those IP addresses, that kind of thing, in a legal way, because you can't legally do that otherwise.
Yeah, apparently it got so bad that they've had new users unable to stream, like they stopped them from streaming for a while. Yeah, I find this just like really fun and harmless, honestly.
It goes a little further than that. It's offensive content that they have no control over on their own platform. That's kind of scary when you think about it.
Yeah, they can just ban the streams.
It's harmless because like it's just some people doing memes, and well, porn's not necessarily harmless to everyone, but imagine like a group of like Nazi extremists or something took over and did this.
Yeah,
and they were flooding the platform with their hate speech. That could be really bad. Yeah. So it's like if you think of it that way, like this is an outlet for people that they're using harmlessly, but others could do the exact same thing and mean harm. And it would still be the same solution of, I don't know who these people are. How do I handle it?
Actually, you know what? You're right, because I just read here that it says, for example, a video of March 2019, the Christchurch mosque attack, copyrighted movies, television shows, racist, misogynistic videos. So yeah, it was more than just porn and memes. It was like really bad shit.
Yeah, in some cases. And they were very adamant about this. It says the defendants use automated methods to create accounts and disseminate offensive information to thwart Twitch's safety mechanisms. It's a lot of big words. It's hard to read that at this point. So, and anyone can come across this stuff because they're like, oh, Artifact is streaming. I'm its biggest fan. No. Not good.
Yeah, that's a shame. If it was just like porn or like some harmless stuff, I wouldn't have mind. But yeah, like it being really nasty shit.
It was all harmless. There's still the potential for it not to be. Like people seeing like this is a possibility and they can get away with it. It's always going to bring the worst people out. Yeah, that's a shame. I used to be really big on net neutrality. And the more I see the internet just destroy itself, I feel like maybe we do need some regulation. Like maybe these companies, as long as they're not using it for bad also, maybe they should know more about the people using their services. There should be tracking. Like, this kind of thing shouldn't be able to happen. We don't need a police state, but there needs to be some checks and balances.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it can go too far in both ways. So it's how do you regulate that? But
yeah. Ben, you have anything to add?
It was the Russians in the restroom with a knife.
Right.
Yeah. I'm illiterate about this. I mean, it's I agree with Justin. It's kind of like, well, if you do this and you got to do this, and it's weird. It's a weird gray area that I do not have the knowledge of to fully comment on. So I'm gonna be a delightful idiot and be quiet about it.
Fair
enough. All right. So let's end the show for today, Justin. Where can people find you?
They can find me if they look up Zero Score on Twitter or YouTube, and if they look up Zero Score Gaming on Twitch. I have one more week of doing Mario RPG, which hopefully won't involve a lot of just random game freezes next week, because I want to make some progress before Mario Maker 2 comes out, and that takes over my life. Mm-hmm. I think I decided like the week after it comes out is 4th of July week, and we have the 4th off, which is a Thursday. So I think I might take the Friday off too, and just do like some long, like middle of the day Mario Maker streams, so that I can like play with Hedgie and stuff, like the people that I can't normally play with because their times don't match up, and try to get some stuff in with different people.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll see, but I might be doing some extra streams coming up. I'll find out more next week.
Ben.
Twitter.com/MarvelZiggy, where you can follow all things about me and anime titty art, as I said earlier. Although I think I've gotten better about that. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Twitter's fucking broken. I never know when y'all are tweeting at all because I get shit from like 15 hours ago for some fucking reason.
I've been seeing a lot of Tifa lewds, so I don't know if they're you or not.
It's probably me liking shit, honestly. But Twitter's just flooded with that shit right now. Yeah. But yeah, again, I'm working on that Chun-Li. Why my candidacy for Chun-Li in Smash. I am working on that. I'm capturing footage. I just captured footage for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate stuff. I didn't talk about it because there's not much to talk about. So there's that. Just got to capture some Alpha 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo stuff, and then I can maybe, I don't know, I probably won't write a script because I'm too lazy for that. Probably just ad-lib it because I don't want to put that much effort into something I'm not going to get paid for.
You have like 2 slots left. You better hurry.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. As long as it comes out before the end of the year, I think I'm okay. It'll come out by the end of August, I guess, maybe sooner. That's just my ultimate goal in case I get super lazy. But yeah, Twitter.com says Marvelous Iggy. You know you're in the right place when you see Panzer the hype, man. I changed it specifically for you, Thomas, because now you get bothered by it. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
You can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas. Also, I'm on Twitch, Kane Plays Stuff. And you can email me, thomas@charshut.com, if you have a question for the show. And until then, guys, enjoy your games.